Hello and welcome back. This is Gronheimer. Take 13. But let's see here. Okay, got a couple of Battlefield cards. I know I'm not done with Beast War stuff yet, but just got a lot of neat stuff here that I want to correct. Stuff that may need to be corrected. But let's okay, well, you all know Ducky, and I don't mean NCIS. Ducky is a common. It's 3 pip colors, which is good if you're looking for pip colors. White, orange, and black. It's a upgrade utility that really doesn't do anything unless it's on a Predacon Megatron. Now, I've made 3 Predacon Megatrons. And so it will give one of them tough 2. But if you're just looking for a throwaway card for a good swap for a green pip you'd like or something, and you really want the different color pips, I guess you could do that. It's kind of a joke card, really, but there's Ducky. Let's look at Piercing Energon Dagger, which is a shot from Cyberverse, and I've had this picture for quite a while. Let's see here, and it's an upgrade weapon that gives +2 to attack with a blue pip. So it's going to give you defense on the flip, but it doesn't matter what faction this is on. It all depends as if you're attacking a Decepticon. Then the upgraded character has +1 to attack, so then it's +3. If you're attacking a Decepticon with a plane trait, or in alt mode, or even wind, or as long as it's a Decepticon with a plane trait, then it also has Pierce 2. So is this an either or? No. It can have, if it's a Decepticon, it's still going to get attack at 3. If it's in plane mode, it has the plane trait, you're going to get the Pierce 2. So, boom. Maybe this should be a star card. I didn't do that. I did make it a rare, so you shouldn't be able to put it like in any Junkion type setup, I guess. I think Junkion setups are, what is that, common and uncommon, or common cards only? Can't remember. Let's look back at Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze was supposed to be sort of the upgrade version of Brainstorm, where you can play an upgrade. If you throw up, no, I'm just kidding. If you play an upgrade, you may play an upgrade. And originally I had it to where you play an upgrade for turn. If you play this, then you can play 2 more upgrades. Well, that was a little too strong. You'd be playing 3 upgrades instead of just, with this, which might have been problematic. It may have been too strong. With that in mind, I ended up giving it a star because of that. And it's a white pip card. It is an action. But then I decided, and I made it even a super rare. But then I've changed it since then and said, if you played an upgrade, you may play another upgrade. So I think this is similar to another card, not quite like Brainstorm, one that we may already have, and I can't remember the name of it. So I may end up taking the star card off, the star cost off. We'll see, but we've been looking at Brain Freeze for a while now. Diabolical Monologue, we've looked at this before. Kind of a variation of Pep Talk, excuse me. Even has the 1 blue pip action, just like Pep Talk, except you only can have 1 character left in the battlefield to be able to draw 2 cards. So that's Diabolical Monologue. Brute Force we've already looked at before. Some of these I've just sort of printed out for myself to try them out. Brute Force is basically step forward, I believe, with maximals instead of Autobots. So after your opponent chooses an attacker, before they choose a defender, When revealed, one of your maximals gets the brave. One of your maximals gets brave until end of battle. So that is brute force. And same goes with Valiant Synergy, which is basically heroic team up. It's got the star cost to prove it, orange and blue, except it's Valiant Synergy. I'm just using synonyms for this stuff. So whether you're using my Maximals and Predacons, or your Maximals and Predacons, or Bay Formers, Road Formers, Arc, whoever's making Maximals and Predacons, you'll be able to use these cards, which are very almost identical to Wizards of the Coast, but made for the right factions. So the cards of waves 1 through 5 aren't just going by the wayside. We're kind of refreshing them for the newer factions at being added into the game, and not just by me. Let's see here. IR Perimeter Spark Sensor is also an action. Another, I made it a super rare as well. No pips. It's an action that breaks your opponents. Your opponents can't use stealth. And of course, it's only going to be for that turn. Maybe I need to put that, like everything else is nowadays, for turn. Sorry, I'm making fun of that. It just sort of gets old after a while, you know. Excuse me, I wasn't that mad about it, really. Your opponent can't use stealth. So when you play this, you can go into any of their you can break your opponent's stealth with the IR Perimeter Spark Sensor, because it even eventually saw Dinobot in the mud. Banish. Speaking of kind of breaking a few things, Banish is an Autobot card. This was a Predacon card, by the way. That is a white and black pip card. It's an Autobot card. This is also another picture from Earthrise with Alpha Trion holding the Thenion here. Well, it's the first one. I haven't shown off the next one yet. Reveal after one of your characters defends and is not KO'd. So they have to defend, and they have to still be on the field. Then you can tap an untapped enemy, which little strong. So it's not just a common, it is a secret action. It's an uncommon Autobot card called Banish, to where you can tap another one of your enemy cards that isn't tapped. Let's look at Matrix of Leadership. Yes, we already have one, I know. But this is for the Maximals. Because the original Matrix says put on Autobots only. Well, only Autobots can play it. Well, we have other leaders with other factions now. And that's what this card is a little bit about. It's to let Maximals with leaders wear the Matrix. So it's the exact same thing, other than put on Autobots, it says Maximals. So since the title of the card is exactly the same, you can only have 3 Matrix of Leaderships in your deck. Not 6, but 3. If you want to mix up the factions of the 3 cards, that's fine. Have 1 Autobot and 2 Maximals, or 2 Autobot and 1 Maximal card faction of the Matrix. That's fine. It's still all the same. Blue, orange pip, +1 to attack. When this is on a leader, each of your other characters has +1 and Pierce 1. So being from wave 1, it doesn't say for battle or for turn or anything like that. So I just left it like it is from wave 1. We know what it means. It does not stack. It's not bold. It's not tough. It's an ability for an upgrade, which they normally don't stack like that normally anyway. So with this in mind, I came up with Mail Order Matrix. Mail Order Matrix is another picture from Earthrise. So yeah, I got some pictures here from some of the newer series, guys. It's Mail Order Matrix is got a black and a blue, so it's good for Pierce. It's good for defense. It is an Autobot card. And this is what it does. You may move a matrix of leadership, and I used the little L because I couldn't figure out how to take off the leadership trait with a capital L on there, from an Autobot or Maximal, and put it on a Decepticon or Predacon leader on your team, and still use the utilities ability. So if you have a wave, let's just say this is a wave 1 matrix in its own Bumblebee. Well, this is not a leader. Picked the wrong one. This is who I meant to get. This Bumblebee is only a 6-star, but he has the leader trait. He is from the first starter deck. So he's got the leader trait. He can wear Matrix. Well, not really this one per se, but let's pretend it's Wave 1 Matrix. Well, then you have, let's say we have, I don't know, this Megatron on your team as well. And let's just say Ominous without his stratagem. And you could have 5 stars left, say with like, I don't know, Brawn, Flame War, somebody like that. So you got 2 leaders here. And we got a Matrix on Bumblebee with mail order Matrix. You can put this on him. If Bumblebee is about to get KO'd, well, Bumblebee was able to bring the Matrix into play because he's an Autobot leader that had the Matrix. With this, you can move it over to a Decepticon or Predacon leader with the Matrix and still get the ability off the Matrix to the other characters on your team. And if it's Flame War that's left, it's Flame War that's left, So that is a neat... and it looks like a container from the 50s or 60s with the Matrix inside. And this is a picture of the Matrix, which looks a little better than this. I really like the Beast War Matrix when they opened up Optimus Prime's chest and it came out and fell and all that. So there's that. We have a Maximal Matrix of Leadership, Mail Order Matrix, that allows you to move it from one character to another. Of course, it does nothing when you actually put it on. It just moves over, and it's good for getting that for leader stuff. So I hope that works. I think that's worded right. So there we go. The last 2 are the Books of Primus, 1 and 2. Books of Primus, 1 is defensive on the flip, aggressive on the upgrade. Books of Primus 2 is aggressive on the flip and defensive on the upgrade. Book number 1 is a Maximal card. Number 2 is a Predacon card. And as you can see, Rat Trap is holding this one. Transmetal 2 Megatron is holding that one. Boom. I thought they looked pretty neat the way I was able to get them. You can actually see the cassette player in there, which I just found hilarious. Very quick to show up, and I'm glad I got the screenshot. Let's look at Books of Primus number 1. When this is on an Autobot, it gets +1 to defense. So it's going to get the +2 to attack and 1 to defense. And then this is on a Maximal, it gets +1 to attack. So it's going to give them in Maximal +3 to attack. When this is on a Decepticon or Predacon, so yes, it can go on them as well. And it will give them +2 to attack. But it's going to bring their defense down by 1, -1 to defense. Books of Primus number 2, both utilities. It's going to give anybody +2 to defense. Nice card, nice fat utility for extra defense. When it's on an Autobot, it gets +1 to attack, which is the opposite of this book. So it's going to help Autobots either way. +2 to attack, +1 to defense. +1 to attack, +2 to defense. When it's on a Predacon or Maximal, this one gives them +1 for defense. So this one gives Predacons and Maximals +3 to defense. This gives Maximals +3 to attack. When this is on a Maximal, it has -1 attack. So you can still put this on a Maximal and it'll get the +2 on defense, but it's going to bring their attack down by 1, which isn't that bad. So if you are playing with a very mixed team, you can still use these. And it all depends on what they're on. And this, I think they go hand in hand pretty well. Might be very fun to play with. I did not make 3 cards of any of these. I just printed them here for the video and for maybe when I get the chance to use them. But again, they're just single cards. I don't have duplicates of any of these. But I thought it would be neat to show these in physical form. More to come. I have not finished with the Beast War characters yet. So with that, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay well, stay safe. Have a blessed day. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll for it.